I wanted to make my completed series into an ebook bundle, so I thought I'd ask the writing community on Twitter if this was at all possible. Hello ladies and lords, and welcome travelers. So because I write, format, design, and draw my books and characters, I figured I'd just acquire a new skill and learn from anyone who has done it before. The thing is that I found some vague answers online and virtually no video on the topic, specifically on how to do this. So I asked KDP if I can add the 4 books of my completed series into one ebook, and so after being given the green light, as of this date, unless something happens in the future, I don't know what to say, but as of this date, it is possible. The first thing you want to do is start a new book, not a new series page. If you're writing a series, I'm assuming you already have done this. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. So first, let's create a new product. There are several ways you can go about this. Some authors will add an entire collection when it comes to their bundles. This is what I'm going to do. But I've also seen some do them in parts. So say there's like a 7-book series. So the bundles will be 1, 2, 3, and then the second bundle will be 4 through 7. I'm not gonna do that, but I think if I did, I think it would kind of make sense to some degree, especially when the books are super long. So on the titles page, this is entirely up to you, but obviously make the decision that makes more sense. And now let's do a little bit of research and see how other authors title and subtitle their books. Looking here, we can see that there's several ways they were named. If you're unsure of what decision to make, follow the example of the book that has the most stars. Usually that means more traffic, more readers. It's probably also very appealing, the ranking and all that jazz, but I like the complete book bundle, so I'm going to do that and add it to my subtitle. By adding it to my subtitle, this is going to create a colon between my title and the subtitle. And notice how I'm not looking at fantasy theme bundles. You can do that if that's what you want, if you don't really want to be like narrow focus. But as a product as a whole, as you can see, some positions, what we're looking at is just in a way, the superficial presentation of the book. Some are positioned differently, others don't have that 3D model. I've seen one where it's just like flat and all you see is the spines lined up together. That looks cool, but at the same time, you're also risking that it may not be a bundle. A very voracious reader will probably know that it's a bundle, but again, people's eyes and attention span vary, and sometimes you just kind of want to get that right impression the moment they look at your product and not wonder if it's a bundle or not. I chose to have the 3D bundle. Number 1, because again, as I was mentioning, it appeals to the eye that this is a product that has more than one book. It's a bundle. 2, because it's a bundle. And 3, because I wanted to make it as a steal than the series page cannot offer, which is getting all these books at once and getting it at a reasonable price. So fill in the box as you normally would. I'm going to be just taking the description from my first book and pasting it here. Of course, I probably should say this is a complete series to remind them, but already the product page is already telling them that. Why would I need to remind them in the description if they probably clicked it first because it was a bundle and complete? This is why titles are very important, right? So we go to the next page and obviously just save your work. We're going to put that aside, and now what we're going to do is create the cover art for a bundle, and we're going to work on the formatting. Now this is where I'm probably going to go by really fast because obviously I cannot give you like a step-by-step. Everyone is going to be using different methods. Everyone uses different sources in terms of formatting the book. Some people hire someone, some do it themselves. But you will see my suggestions and my recommendations. So the easiest method is obviously to use your already existing book mockup that has a position, or in this case, the angle, to create the illusion that all the books are together. You can use Photoshop or other editing software to make this happen. If you don't have a mockup, here is how you can get it. Now, I would have normally sent you guys to Cover Vault, but their page is 404 now, so I don't know what's going on with them. But for resources, I like to go to Derek Murphy's website, Creative Indie. He always has something new going on to help indie authors, and he was the lifesaver for me when I needed my first book mockup. So go to creativeindie.com and go to the Explore, then click on Resources, scroll all the way down and you should be able to find some links that have the mock-up. Choose the mock-up design that you want. But because we have done our research for the bundle, we are choosing this angle. Paste your front cover and also paste the spine of your book cover, and you should be able to generate a mock-up. Now, my suggestion for this, after you get the mock-up image, obviously I would recommend get it in PNG format because JPEG is going to give you that white background. 2, edit the contrast and brightness to really make it pop, saturation if you have to. That's just like obviously something to appeal to the eye more. Also because it will look faded. I don't know if you noticed, like some book covers, I'll even notice it on some other authors when they present their mock-ups, like sometimes it looks a little faded, or sometimes like in my mind, like not the perfectionist in me, but I'm just like, oh, they probably could have like done a little bit of this. So yeah, so just, play with that a bit more and you will have your mock-up that you can already start stacking. Now, how do we stack them? If authors do other angles, I've noticed even some have it where they have like a book box for them to fit in. It looks fancy, but as fancy as it is and as tempted as I was to do that, I decided not to. I'm trying to work smart, and if I were to buy an ebook bundle, my first thoughts are not going to be,
oh my god, look at that book holder, so sleek, so strong.
So the next thing is I'm going to do the mock-up myself, and I'm also going to create my front cover. There's not much to explain here, so I'm going to speed this, but you'll be able to see how my mock-up will turn out. Now I have a beautiful mock-up cover and we're going to upload that baby on KDP. Next is formatting. You can ask the person who formats your book to put all of your books together, but how will your readers get through your book without losing themselves? It's all in the table of contents. It's all in the table of contents. If you're doing this yourself and you're using Word, you might run into some problems, especially if you bookmark the links yourself and they have the same chapter title number. Now, how you design your chapter titles, be it just numbers or names, in this case, I have both. This may end up looking differently, but if you're running into some link issues, you're safe by just formatting them based off the heading 1 and heading 2 style with the TOC. TOC is short for table of contents. And if this makes absolutely no sense, there should be several resources online on YouTube on how you can do this. And I'm saying this because that's really all you have to do. So at the end of your first book, paste the next book. You just take out like any of so for mine, I took out the about author. I took out you have completed this book, safe travels. That's something that I can tell my reader individually if they were just to buy the first book. But because I want them to continue reading the next book, I took those off and I just applied the second book. Here's some of the things that I ran into while I was doing the formatting. I have 4 glossaries in each book, so for the bundle, I number them so that my readers know which one they're looking at. I thought about just adding all of the glossaries, all the descriptions and the whatnots into one, but that also might lead to spoilers, and unless you follow me on Twitter, you don't get spoilers for my writing. So here's my TOC looks like once it's finished. All the links work. Mind you, this was a heavy workload for me because I have images as numbers for my books, so that needed me to do some extra steps. I indented the title of my book series, so for the 100 Prince, the Gray Hair Princess, the Black Hat, and the Queen's Wrath. That way it sticks out more, better than just lining them all up into like one little square. Like, come on. We're not trying to be symmetrical. We're trying to really like give the reader that easy appeal. I also squeezed the spacing so that it wouldn't be endless. Everyone formats their Kindle differently, so of course sometimes whatever efforts you try to do to make your book look really nice, they're either going to put it on night mode or do their other stuff. Let's upload the manuscript. Now we have to wait for KDP to approve it. It's been a few hours and ta-da! Now you have a book bundle and a book series page. You've just created also a new product set that your readers can choose. So, I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, again, feel free to contact me on the comment section if you want a designer for your book bundle. If you like mine and you want yours to look the same, contact me. Go to my Ko-fi and contact me there and just request. Again, you can do this all yourself. I support indies who just kind of want to do everything themselves. I mean, at the same time, you're kind of like stressing yourself out, but you always have that option. Good luck and safe travels.